In the next few months, you're going to start to see the evidence of a stealth stimulus package that is well underway, not because things are good, but because the economy, it's not on shaky ground, it's tanking. Most people cannot see it. I want to start talking about this stealth stimulus package and how it's going to rear its head. And a lot of times this goes undetected by the mainstream media. I'm going to give you some examples. When the economy isn't doing well, the government tries to find ways to keep it boosted till the next election so that they can show whatever side of the aisle it is that they were able to bring you prosperity. That you voted prosperity by voting them in, right? Well, the White House is starting their own stealth operation right now. And it comes in many forms. One of the ways is government spending on specific programs that legislation has already made possible, like infrastructure acts, building acts, things like that to produce more jobs. But one, that is really set aside right now is the ability all of a sudden for you as a consumer to be able to write off the interest paid on a vehicle. Let me go and actually read this real quick. I wasn't going to read this, but this is just phenomenal. Vehicle interest is, oh, great. This is the time that wants to pop off. All right. Well, I can't find it all of a sudden. This is what happens when you're live. Forever, interest on vehicles weren't write off. And now all of a sudden they are. Donald Trump signed something to be able to make vehicle interest, payments, the interest deductible on your taxes. This is a form of stealth stimulus because it is encouraging people to go out and use debt to buy vehicles because the auto industry is completely crashing. Another thing of stealth stimulus is allowing these smaller vehicles to be brought in, the vehicles that a lot of us have wanted to buy for a long time that I believe are going to also bankrupt the auto industry here, to be able to buy them because it will create purchases, money from tariffs, taxes, so many different avenues to bring the government in money, but also at the same time create jobs because Trump has made it very clear that any vehicles sold here are going to mainly be manufactured here. Okay. So that's a big deal. Another interesting thing about stimulus that I wanted to bring up is cost of living adjustments. They do happen quite regularly, but there are times where they will be bumped up specifically to be able to hide the amount of interest the amount of inflation. They're trying to battle it all the time. And these COLAs or cost of living adjustments never truly go up with the inflation rate. That's the sad thing that most people don't see. They just see the government numbers and they go, oh, I'm doing pretty good. I'm keeping up with inflation. But that's not the real inflation rate. Oh, real quick, I want to announce last day for the Crypto Tax Pro and the Tax Planning 101 course. If you want those, the price is going up tomorrow. So if you want to look at those. Tax bracket adjustments are another great example of stealth stimulus. And we have seen the tax brackets getting adjusted again more favorably for lower income households. Again, the government's job is to try and hide an economy crash as it's happening, mostly from the middle class. Poor people do not understand this at all. They have zero education when it comes to economics, and it is their choice. It is always every single human being's choice to be in a educated or understanding position, for lack of better terms. And just, I'm not an educated person as far as the traditional sense. I did not make it through high school. I tried to take some community college classes, crashed and burned. I went the hard way, became a fireman, and I was a blue collar worker my whole life. But that didn't stop me from going to libraries and then saving up and buying books in Barnes and Noble on how to become wealthy. I mean, you could tell, like, I don't speak clearly. I don't read well. you know, I'm just always trying my hardest. And that was enough for me to become successful. So everyone has a choice, but the government doesn't worry about the poor. They worry about the middle class because they've got just enough education to be dangerous, right? And they do a good job, the government, of dumbing down the education system so that you don't see what they're doing behind the scenes. So that's a big deal. Tax bracket adjustments are usually the biggest thing, but most people don't even know how much they pay in taxes. All they care about is, are they getting a return at the end of the year? As a matter of fact, most middle class families, they use their tax return as a savings account. So they'll do the, married and zero or single and zero withholdings because they're such horrible savers. That's their savings account. They're giving the government a interest-free loan for the whole year, and only that at the end of the year they get their refund check and they blow that too. So a lot of people don't understand this. As a matter of fact, when we talk about the media, that this goes under the radar until it's really out in the open, because the big stimulus explosion is always excuse me, the Fed. When the Fed starts dropping its rates and injecting money into the economy, which is always owed back with interest, mind you. That's something that people don't understand. The Fed waits for Congress to nudge them, and they go, okay, but we're going to loan you money to put into the economy, and you're going to owe it back with interest, right? That's what everyone's looking for, but they're not looking for these hidden things. Another form of the stealth stimulus system that Trump's about to roll out is a 50-year mortgage. Now, that yet has not happened, right? He's suggesting it, and he's wanting it to happen. But the last president that made something like this happen, I believe, was Roosevelt. And I believe they went from a 15-year to a 30. And that is just absolute horrific. For a short time, you go, oh, now everyone can afford a house because a home, mortgage is now like $300 to $500 less on average than with a 30-year. But now, instead of paying for the house twice, you're going to be paying for it 4 times, possibly 5. To say that a mortgage is considered a death contract, which is what it stands for, I believe in Latin, French, I don't remember. It's absolutely ludicrous. Now it's going to be well into a death contract. So these are forms that the government uses, these different ways to stimulate the economy, to keep it going until the next guy gets elected. And I believe that if you don't get on top of your taxes and understand what they are, how they work, and how to pay less in it, if you don't understand the importance of having some kind of side business, again, to be able to take advantage of tax, legal tax loopholes and write-offs, you're going to be stranded and between lower middle class or the poverty line. And I'm not joking. I hope there are some people thinking about what I'm saying right now and waking up. Because what's crazy is the other day, when I was looking at real estate, I always look at real estate because that's such an amazing barometer for the health of the economy. And a real estate professional says, well, yeah, you say the crash is happening, but when? And I'm like, it's happening now. It's been going on for 2.5 years. How do you not understand this? But then again, I hearken back to 2005, where I was in a straight up panic trying to sell homes as fast as I could. And by 2006, I'm having a hard time selling my homes because my margins were thin on some of the rentals and one of the flips. And nobody got it. They're like, oh, calm down. Just calm down. Everything's fine. Like, you guys are high. But that's where we are now. And right now, every home is dropping around me. I put some lowball offers in to get up people. Literally, I've had real estate agents raise their voice with me. I've had owners give me pretty much the equivalent of the bird on paper, right? Only for every single one of them to call me back 3 months later. I'll take your offer. Go pound sand. We're going lower. This is really happening. Now, I get it. Everybody can point to one of the cheapest house in town and go, look, it's sold. Yeah, fools rush in. That's a great analogy or term for what is happening right now. There's an idiot or a sucker born every day. That exact same phenomenon was going on in 2005. I think I told you the story of someone when I went to the DMV and said, I just bought a house. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so exciting. Someone was working and I go, is this your first house? Congratulations. They no. And they got all depressed. I did a whole video about this. No, we bought a house right before the last housing crash. And I'm like, and I guessed the year, 2006. And she looks up, she goes, how'd you know? I'm like, well, I'm really involved in the housing market and cycles. It was a pretty easy guess. I knew a lot of people that raced in. And as I was selling, people that personally knew me, they're like, you're just jealous of us. Please, I got 14 houses. I'm trying to save you from the one you're buying right now. They never knew I had 14 houses. I was super quiet back then. Now I'm just louder. This is coming apart now. Penny's gone. Nickel's next. Gold and silver an all-time high. Bitcoin's off of an all-time high. Don't worry, it'll get back there. It's all the people whining. Holy cow. This is really happening. And you got to sit and ask yourself, well, if gold and silver are pretty much at all-time highs, if Bitcoin's at pretty much all-time, well, that should be a bad thing. Yeah, the currency's collapsing. And the government's trying to do anything it can to juice it. For heaven's sakes, one of the biggest buyers in bonds now all of a sudden became a crypto company. But people aren't waking up. But hey, you know what? You could either sit back and think you're cool and chill and everybody calm down. You need to be cool like me. And then, that person will lose everything they got. I've seen it, been there, done that. And I'm going to be honest with you. I ain't going to feel bad at all. I'm going to capitalize on it. I wonder how many people think that that's mean. I've seen comments before, I can't believe you would capitalize on someone's misfortune. I'm like, well, spent 4 years of my life trying to warn the world. Yeah, I'm going to go do it. Yeah, I don't give a rip. I will warn people till I'm blue in the face, get called names, called an idiot, all that stuff. Copy. You copy that, Captain Obvious. I'll be back to buy your house. I will do that. And then I will provide them a nice warm house as a rental. That's how it works. But at least we're warning people. This is it. You're going to see 2026 as a heart monitor that is fluttering, going into VFib or tachycardic, just boom, 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 boom. It's going to be going left and right, and you're not going to know which way is up. Unless you have a stable mind, financial mind. And the only way you could do that is if you have little to no debt, you have a good credit score, and the only thing it takes to get both of those is hard work. And there's a lot of Americans right now and people all over the world that are allergic to hard work. Trust me, I see it all the time with my remodel. Woo! Boy, do I got stories about that. This is where we are. It's exciting times. I hope you got something out of this. If you want to take command of your tax planning and learn how to save money and organize and strategize in tax, or you want to learn how to organize your crypto tax, everyone's gonna be freaking out in January. You watch these videos. I started doing crypto tax videos in January. They're gonna be exploding in numbers and people are gonna be freaking out. And I'm like, well, I tried to get you set up 4 weeks prior, but that's all right. That's how people are, because many people don't take action. The link's down below. Last day today for that bundle sale. And hopefully you have an awesome day. The Economic Ninja is out.